Hey everybody, welcome back to Schaefer Shenanigans. Today's shenanigans kind of got canceled on the account of all this snow. And no, that's not Miami snow, this is Maryland snow. So I decided to actually share some footage with you guys from stuff I filmed way back. If you're a fan of motorcycles, this might be the video for you. Oh hey, welcome back to Schaefer Shenanigans. Today we'll be working on my 2015 Harley Sportster 72. This is the bike that Andrew and I rode across country on, and we even went into some parts of Canada on this bike. For the past almost 50,000 miles, we've had these drag pipes on. And if you guys can remember, a few months ago, before we went to Daytona of 22, we actually blew this thing up as these drag pipes got the engine hot and we lost that back cylinder head. These pipes are originally 1 3/8 drag pipes. These are straight, hollow pipes all the way down to the end. There's no baffles, there's no muffler on these pipes. If you guys are pretty familiar with how a slinky works, how you can send this slinky and it'll travel down the slinky and travel back. Since these pipes here are hollow, there's a certain point in that slinky where no matter how fast you run it back and forth, that wave in the slinky will stay right in the middle. To help break up that slinky wave in the middle, we went ahead and inserted called torque tubes, but really it's just kind of like a lollipop stuck up in the middle of the exhaust pipe to help break up those sound waves. You can kind of see it's actually right down in there. There's a little lollipop right there. Unfortunately, they still didn't work. We still lost that back cylinder head. So today we went ahead and got on eBay and we got some baffles to put in these pipes. These baffles are just standard eBay $20 pipes. Hopefully this gives us some good back pressure and kind of helps the next 40,000 miles so we don't lose that back cylinder head again. I think these should work out pretty well. The first step here is actually we're going to remove this lollipop, and I already kind of soaked it down with some penetrating oil. Let's go ahead and get our 1/2 inch wrench. All right, here it is. Here's that little lollipop that I was kind of describing. This kind of just sat in the exhaust pipe, and all that did was to help break up that slinky wave of exhaust notes coming out of the engine. This was kind of helpful, especially with that open pipe around that 1800 to like 2200 mark, taken off from like a stoplight. This thing really had no lower end torque, and that's because it was essentially just a hollow pipe. So now we got that out. Let's go ahead and put this baffle in. All right, so you can see we got the baffle in now. I did put a larger screw washer up here and a washer down below here. Those were all the old lollipops, just because that hole in there was a lot larger than what the bolt came with the baffle. You can see here I used some blue Loctite on those threads, and we're just gonna use a 7/16 wrench to tighten it up. And I'm just gonna go ahead and repeat this process for this front pipe here. This may be a little more difficult. As you can see, I have this exhaust bracket here that connects to the frame. It may cause some interference on this back one, but let's find out. All right, that front little lollipop is out. Let's go ahead and put this baffle in. It's kind of the same thing. We're gonna use the washers off of that lollipop, just because these are so much smaller diameter bolts than the lollipop was. Let's get at it. Having some difficulty sticking this bolt assembly through the hole in the tube, so we're just going to use a pair of vice grips here and just kind of use these as like needle nose pliers. Having these gear ratcheting wrenches, making this job super simple. Yeah, I could use like a shorty socket with a ratchet, but these are nice, small and nimble, and I'm just kind of happy to use these. And you may have noticed I didn't use any blue Loctite on this front baffle. That means let's take it back apart and put blue Loctite on it. And blue Loctite. Well, this isn't good luck. My blue Loctite jar is all crackled and probably dried out from being in this Florida sun all day. All right, I'd say that's pretty tight. And just kind of look how bad that was cracked. So, lesson learned, let's buy some more blue Loctite and maybe we'll keep this inside so it doesn't get hard and destroyed. Now I know what you're thinking. You just changed the exhaust pipe and put baffles in that. Won't that mess up with the air and the fuel ratio and all that jazz? Well, yeah. That's why we have the Vance & Hines FP3 tuner. If you can use Instagram or Facebook, you can work the app for this. Basically, you just connect this into where the computer goes, open up the app on your phone, answer some questions, and it's good to go. This is what I originally used to tune the bike probably 40,000 miles ago when I first put these pipes and air cleaner on. And it worked well until it blew up, I don't know, last year or so. Okay, I got the battery cover off the side of the bike, and you can kind of see this will just plug in right down to this main port down here. When you go to use this, I kind of just tuck the tuner in right here between the two computers and the battery. It makes it super simple. Now, I'm not showing you the tuning process. If you want to learn more about how that tuner works or the app that you need to use it, there's plenty of other YouTube videos on that. I'm not going to show you that now. All right, the bike's all tuned up. Those baffles are bolted in tight. Let's change some clothes and go for a ride. But first, let's clean up our mess. All right, let's go for a ride. Here in Florida, you don't have to have a helmet, but let's go ahead and put on this brain bucket anyway. All right, here we are at the local boat ramp. Some things I've noticed, first thing when we put this on, it has way more low end torque, kind of like that in the seat feel when you get audited from like 1500 to maybe like 22. Decel pop is way less now. It feels like some of those, sometimes there's some air coming past those baffles. It almost makes like a whistling sound, kind of like those old Popping Johnny single engine engines. It's kind of like a psh, 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 like you have an exhaust leak or something. All right, we got a few more miles in on these pipes and those baffles in there. I think it's gonna work out really great. I feel like the bike is gonna benefit more from having that back pressure. Just kind of already that low end torque feels really nice in the seat and kind of taking off. I do have some decel popping, but it's not as bad as it was when that was just a hollow pipe in there. So we'll run some takes of gas through this and we should be good to go. That old Harley is pretty neat. If you're interested in seeing more content related to that motorcycle, or heck, even going down memory lane, I could share some stories and some photos with you of that bike that we took across the country. We even went into Nova Scotia, Canada on that thing. It was a wild time back in the day. Well, once again, this is just the shenanigans that Schaefer does. See you next time.